Whitey Bulger. It just came out last year. Whitey, yeah.
I don't know anybody that's into mafia history as much as me. I went to the Mob Museum in Vegas. They used to be hurting for business, like when they first opened up, and I've been there so many times trying to support them. I don't join, like I pay full price instead of joining the year thing and try to help them out. And I went to them with an idea of having like a Trivia Pursuit night for mob geeks like myself, you know, trying to make it like a thing where we give away prizes, bullshit prizes that other, you know, 2-for-1 dinner somewhere, bullshit like that. And I actually had several meetings. Well, I had a few, 2 or 3 meetings, and then it kind of got dropped, but I didn't mind because all of a sudden, like, bam, they were just like slammed. And every time I go there now, they're just so fucking busy. Like, I can't remember what happened.
Oh, like the mob museums? Like,
yeah, like they totally, like, I'm like, okay, you don't need me now, so no, you know, no worries. But
yeah, no, I am super fascinated by it. Like, I just started getting into it the last couple of years, but it was like, it was the book, it was the Donnie Brasco book, which was the first one that I started reading, and like, was, you know, and like, and that's on AE special, like I was telling you on Stone. And I was like, man, this guy, I mean, that story to me is still like one of the craziest ones. I'm sure there's much more when I get deeper into it, but that one to me was just, it was pretty, you know. But then I was telling him.
What's funny is everybody takes credit for taking the mob down, you know.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, he did. He busted the whole, you know, Bonanno family, and a lot of murders connected with that were solved, a lot. But it wasn't just him. It was a commission's case and everything going on in New York. But yeah, that
yeah,
was,
but when
was crazy.
you know, when he's telling it from his point of view, of course, he's going to kind of say, well, yeah, I single. Well, he didn't really even say. He never even says.
No,
like,
it's just kind of like a tag along with every book. You know, the one that flipped and brought the whole mob.
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Everyone does this. And there's so many books that claim to be like the last real mobster, the last real mafioso, the last real, you know. But it's all
like from
prospectively, they're right.
But from my understanding, like the mob essentially is still, I mean, they're still around. They're not like what they were. Like, they're not like the Chicago fucking bloody, you know, Valentine, or you know what I'm saying, like that St. Valentine's Day Massacre type shit anymore. But it's still a lot of cyber shit. Like they're doing a lot of cyber crime. I saw this thing on History Channel about it.
Yeah, I actually, like for instance, like I'm exposed to it because I travel a lot. So when I'm in the Boston area, Springfield, Massachusetts, my friend is a police officer, and he gives me a mob tour around his little city from his insight, right? So he's like, yeah, you see that barber shop? He's like, there's a full-blown gambling joint in the back of it, you know, it's 2 families are in it.
Still though?
The Genovese family is there, and who's the other family that's there? It's mostly the Genovese territory. Oh, the other ones are the Patriarchas, who are out of Rhode Island and out of Montreal.
They're still doing the dragons today?
So what I was going to tell you, like when I was there, you know, and we're going by, and he's showing me all this shit. He's saying, yeah, that's where whoever got murdered. We go by a bus stop, and there's a bunch of guys out there, and one guy's standing, holding court with a fucking yellow Hawaii shirt on. He's like, see that guy right there in the yellow shirt? He goes, that's Jack Santinella, man. He's the main guy in the Genovese family. Like right there, I was like, dude, should I get out and get my picture with him? Like, I never have a real mobster on my mob tours. That's awesome. And
yeah, how often would that happen?
Right, but then we went to this strip club, and he took me to, and I was just like bored as hell. Just, you know, like I was there, looked at it, and went around. Okay, you know, so I'm on my phone, and I'm looking up the town, and I'm looking up the Santinello guy, I'm looking up the Genovese, all this, and I find the club that I'm at, but I'm sitting at the table with the manager, right? Just we're at the same table, you know, and I'm bored, and my friend that's the cop, I guess, put us at the table.
Yeah, knows him or whatever.
And so, and he's trying to talk to a girl or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm looking through, and I find it, and I go, who's Antonio Anelio? And all of a sudden, the guy that I'm talking to, like his face got red. And I go, dude, it says he was holding this place up, that he was fucking extorting this club, and whatever club we were at, Mardi Gras. And the guy's face got red. He got like real serious. He just fucking got up and he walked off. He just walked away, and I never saw him again. I was like,
oh, that was him.
Oh. That's hilarious. He's
And
the
this
guy.
was where in Detroit?
No, this is in Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts.
And this is the guy that I'm reading about. That this manager has been extorted, and the mobster that was extorting him got busted for it. So this is in the news. I'm reading about it on the internet. And I didn't even put it together. I was like, hey, that's interesting. This place, yes. But no, it totally goes on. It's extortion, drugs. But you're right. Sometimes it's more high-tech shit. But that was big news a few years ago that they were getting into all that.
That's what I saw.
They have the fingers in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But they're not powerful like they were. Maybe they'll get there again. Who knows?
Well,
I don't think so.
But history does repeat itself.
I don't look up to them. I'm just fascinated by them.
No, same here. Yeah. I mean, I just think like you were telling me last night about how like you can be so organized and be so powerful, and like you have these people you call your family. You know what I mean? And then you have to turn around and just shoot one of them in the head. And then I was telling him, like, even in Brasco, like, when Pacino's character's going, and he thinks, like, he knows in his mind he's getting whacked. You know what I mean? Remember that scene? And he's going to it with Donnie Brasco,
yep.
and then, like, he knows he's getting whacked, but he's going there anyway. You know what I mean? Like, just like kind of like that sick thing, and then they show him the line or whatever. But
this was the scene you're talking about. They got to go down to Miami because he's got a contract for Bruno and Delicato, who was the son of one of the guys that they killed in that scene when they were all in the basement.
Yeah, yeah.
That's there's a very high-profile murder scene that went unsolved for forever, and so many people were implicated in that came down. But Bruno and Delicato, the guy that's on the boat when they unplugged his electricity, that guy like went on to do some crazy shit. Yeah, and he whacked Galante, who it's one of the most famous dead mob photos ever of Carmine Galante because he still has a cigar in his mouth.
I've seen that picture. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The guy on the boat fucking
was the guy who shot him.
Yeah, and then they were fine. They were because they had all the surveillance. They saw afterwards. They saw him show up at a Gambino social club, and everyone high-fiving him. But the way that they do Italian ways, kissing on the cheek. But and they put it all together because it was like because they had all this surveillance going. There was all this excitement after Galante got whacked.
And then
that was fucking Bruno, the same guy that was on the boat.
Like the King's. He was involved in the King's Palace or whatever it's called. King's.
I can't remember if he was involved in the bar they had down there, where they didn't pay off the local cops or whatever. But he just went down there to fucking hide and cool off. I don't think he was.
Oh, so
I don't think he was involved in the bar at all.
I feel like I remember it, but maybe I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
I geek out in that stuff, and it's like, it sits in my brain and I read so much that they always make references, that thickens the history, makes it deeper and more real.
And then you kind of learn more of the layers. Because a lot of times the thing is like they don't, and you were saying it I think last night, like they don't focus, like even the guys who are kind of on the peripheral of whatever you're watching, like whatever story it is, like they still have so much themselves.
They have their own stories.
And we're even talking like with Kevin Weeks and all those guys. It's like they have like this long history where you can do just a whole thing about them. Sorry, Telly.
But one more name that just because this is something before I forget. Also in the Chicago mob, and he's going to come up when you're watching Sam Giancana, learning about him is Sam DiStefano. Try to remember
Sam DiStefano. I'll write it down.